Hello, everybody. I'm Don Counts. Welcome into the Fayetteville Public Utilities studios here at 408 West College Street. Today, we are talking with Mr. David Posey. David, how are you doing?
Fantastic, sir. How are you?
Good. Today, we're going to talk about the water quality report. And David, tell everybody what your title is.
Okay, so Don, I am the Water and Wastewater Treatment Plants Superintendent.
Okay, and as long as I've known you, you've been kind of heavy toward water, but
Sure.
now you're going to be kind of over both.
Yes, sir. I've got two fantastic supervisors that work at individually at these plants, Lee Williams and Dwight Jeans, and so I'm able to trust them and lean on the wastewater side a little bit more. Obviously, I'm a little bit more heavy in water as far as my training background. Got to be licensed in wastewater, so I'll be going to take that test here coming up next month.
Very good. Well, one of the things about that whole deal, it's I guess a preparation for the future since
Sure.
you're in the younger generation, and that's a good thing, and it's a good management move to do that. Let's talk a little bit about the water quality report. What brought that on, and why do you have to do it?
Sure. So they have the Safe Drinking Water Act, which was put in place in 1974. And they've done a couple updates. And in 1996, they did an update to really enhance the public notification of your water quality and to give you some information to let you see kind of what we test for and sort of things like, just some public information, other things that are included in this report that's really good for the consumer to have at their disposal.
Well, when you talk about the consumer, you're talking about people like me,
Sure.
but this is something that we hear a lot from restaurants and industry as well.
Sure. Anybody that uses the water, it's going to give you information on maximum contaminant levels or MCLs. As you'll see, it has definitions and all kinds of stuff in there. Okay. But what it tells you is if we've had any violations or if we're out of bounds on some of our chemical, which we're not. But it's just really good to give you some information that you otherwise wouldn't get about your water quality annually.
Let's talk about our water in general. It comes from the Elk River.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about how it comes into your plant and what do you do to make it as good as it is when we pull it from the tap?
Sure. So we actually have a lake upstream, the Timms Ford Dam, which impounds the Elk River. And so they send us different qualities of water from time to time. If you've ever seen the lake be released or the dam released, and then sometimes it's not. You see the water today; it's really, really clean. So we bring it into the plant at the Elk River Bridge on Eldad Road at our water treatment plant. We bring it in and we add some chemicals to it. Basically, in a nutshell, we treat it for turbidity. We treated it turbidity, the measurement of how dirty the water is. We add some oxidizer, chlorine dioxide, and what it does is it helps the iron and manganese be removed from the water and settle out with the dirt. And then we add some chlorine for disinfection and fluoride and phosphate for corrosion control. And then we do run it through a filtration system. We actually have an ultra filtration system at the water treatment plant. 0.02 microns in pore size, and I tell everybody that doesn't mean anything, but the human hair is like 100 microns in diameter, so that tells you how tight these filters are. It filters out bacteria and some viruses.
Wow.
And so we clean the water before we clean the water with the filters, and so we try to deliver the best product that we can deliver.
After you go through the process of the filtration, which we've all seen the Elk River. We've seen it look as dirty as chocolate milk, and like you say today, is clean. So after you filter all that out, now we're going into the treatment process. I'm assuming there's some treatment at that point, right?
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to treat it ahead of time. We're going to add the chlorine dioxide and add the coagulant, which is an aluminum-based product, and we're going to try to remove as much of the stuff before it hits the filters, and that's to protect our investment on the filters.
So you're not running the dirty water
No,
or real dirt water through the filter.
We're trying to clean it up a little bit before we run it through our filter. Okay. It's to protect the product. And then so once it goes to the filter, we add fluoride and then phosphate. And again, fluoride is basically just for your teeth. That's it. No water quality advantage to feeding fluoride. Okay. Phosphate is for corrosion inhibition. And so what it's going to do is it forms a thin white microscopic layer on the inside of pipes to keep things from leaching off your metal pipes. It's to help with the corrosion so your pipes can stay in longer, right?
Sure.
And then so chlorine after that, and that obviously for chlorine is just for disinfection. So when we send it out to the public, we have it in our storage tanks, and it sits in the system for 2 to 5 days maybe throughout our system. And so what we're trying to do is protect, have that little barrier of added protection for as it sits in the pipes. So
as the water is ready to go to the home from your house, from your plant to your house, now your responsibility leans toward the distribution system.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about the distribution system. When we talk about distribution system, my mind's thinking water tanks and then water pipes to get it to my home.
That's exactly right. And it's just simply that. We have some pump stations to deliver it when we have to go uphill when, the overflow of a tank is lower than the next zone it delivers to.
Because the tanks are normally in a higher elevation.
They are.
And then we're talking gravity flow in most cases.
It is. And then so we have 2 storage tanks in the middle of town, the Timberlake and Holman tank. Respectively, it's 1.5 million and 1.3 million on the size of those tanks. So they hold that much water. So each day we spend our day filling those up. And then it actually delivers water out to the rest of the system by pump stations. And so you actually have other storage tanks that are at different elevations. We pump water up to, say up Lewisburg Highway at Pump Station 2 and down 64 East in Pump Station 1 to get it toward Frito-Lay. We actually have a storage tank there. It's 500,000 gallons. And then we have a 320,000 gallon tank up at Howell on Davis Hollow Road.
When you talk about the distribution system in general, are we talking some plastic pipe, some metal pipe, a little mixture of everything? What all's out there?
We have a mixture. We have some newer stuff that's PVC, and then we have some older stuff that's ductile iron and cast iron, and we have a wide range of I guess it really isn't that wide of a range. It's really those are the types of pipes you're going to see out in our system.
All right.
And then so, it gets delivered to a customer's home, and then they take it from there.
All right. Now, when we talk about the final product from the plant, and you've got a final product, you also test the water out through the distribution system. Tell everybody how you do
Sure.
that.
So we're required by the state and by the EPA, really, to collect a sample from a random spot. We actually have 46, I believe, at this point in time, different spots selected, dispersed throughout our system evenly. So we're checking all areas and all types of line and sizes and stuff. And so what we're going to go out and check is we're going to check fluoride, phosphate, chlorine, just to make sure our chlorine's holding up out in the system, check the pHs, make sure it's not getting stagnant. We check that 5 days a week. And then we also collect a bacteriological sample. We collect 10 of those each month. And we test it for total coliforms and E. coli. And so we actually have a bacteriological lab at our water treatment plant. We're also certified in, and we do that at the plant as well.
There's a lot of reporting you have to do. Let's talk about who all you report to, and including, as you mentioned, the Environmental Protection Agency.
Yes,
that's
sir.
one for sure.
Sure. So the EPA regulates everybody as in regards to water treatment. They also have what's called primacy agencies. And so Tennessee has one. It's called the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, TDEC. So you hear me say TDEC or anybody say TDEC, that's who they're talking about. And they have a division of water resources, and that's who we report to. Some of our monthly samples, and we have just our daily they're the ones that come in and inspect us every 2 years in our sanitary survey, which most recently we actually got 100 on. We actually got a perfect score on our sanitary survey, the first time in my history of being here that's ever happened.
And how did you attain that? How did that happen?
It takes every day doing the right thing. It's our operators. It's all the way to the night shift operator. And as long as he's documenting what's happening and every single note that needs to be taken, and we can explain every single spike we have online measuring equipment, we have tests that we run, and as long as those all fall in line and we're going by the rule book and we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing, that score is going to speak for itself.
Fayetteville and Lincoln County is very blessed to have the Elk River running right down the middle of it. And we're also blessed to have such a very high-tech water treatment plant to get good quality water into the home.
Sure. I have to thank the ratepayers, the board members, Britt, everybody that had a hand in getting us the tools in our toolbox to do what we can do every day. There's not a lot of water systems in the state of Tennessee and really in the United States that have the type of quality of treatment processes that we have at our disposal. And so we're very, very thankful for that. We had that 1949 plant that we operated all the way up until 2016. So when we got the new stuff, we were very, very appreciative.
Which you worked in that old plant, so you've actually seen the old and the new, and we've come a long way. We
have come a very, very long way, and so again, thank you to anybody that had a hand in that.
We appreciate what you do. You know, it's one of those things, as we all talk about, that being taken for granted. You know, it's a whole lot more to it. And I'm sure you would say that the water coming out of your tap is probably better than any bottled water you could find.
Well, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think so. You know, it's a constant war on the bottled water industry that we fight here. But no, in all honesty, bottled water has its conveniences as well. That's right. And it's regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, whereas we have online monitoring that's testing that water all the time. And then it's a whole lot cheaper. And, you know, I don't know exactly what our rates are off the top of my head, but I can tell you that for 748 gallons of water, you're spending about $12 or $11.50. So somewhere in that range. I'm not all the way sure. Please don't. Right. But you know, you're going to spend about $1.50 for 20 ounces of water, and so it's up to you. You know.
That's right. That's right. Well, we appreciate you doing the water quality report. It is available online on our website, and people can get a copy of these. And if a customer has questions about their water quality, what would you suggest they do if their water's not up to par to their house, or maybe you know, just some details about it? What would they do?
So much like the other services at FPU, you know, water quality is something we take pride in as well. And so if you have a problem with your water quality, please, by all means, give us a call at 931-433-1522. You can speak to LaDonna Thrasher, our customer service representatives, and they'll get you in touch with the right personnel. A lot of times with water quality, you're going to deal with myself or Lee Williams. Lee Williams is the water treatment plant supervisor. And so you're going to be dealing with somebody, and we're going to come see you as soon as we can get to you. And then we're going to, you know, do whatever tests to accommodate whatever the issue may be. And then, so if you have any questions, just give us a call. We'll get with you.
About how many gallons of water do you treat a day?
Just a little over 2 million gallons right now. Okay. And so we have some wholesale spots. We also sell to the Lincoln County Board of Public Utilities in the town of Petersburg. Okay. And so we're treating quite a bit of water right now. And so our plant's rated at 4.5 million gallons. So we're just a little under half of our capacity. We have the ability to upgrade to 6 and 8. If need be in the future. So when they built the plant, they were thinking about the capacity demands of our Lincoln County and hopefully accommodate some growth.
Do you have certain times of year in which you treat more water than normal?
Sure. You know, ironically enough, you know, of course, July and August when everybody's using and washing cars but, you know, January seems to be another high volume month, and I think it's attributed to the freezing temps, people dripping their faucets, you know, just little things like that, and even some leaks. You know, that happen with the freeze-thaw cycles.
Right. Well, if you have any questions, give us a call. David Posey's been our guest talking about the Water Quality Report, the 2021 Water Quality Report on our website, and you can get copies here, and we can get you a copy as well, but we'd hope you would look at it online. And if you have any questions, just feel free to give us a call.
Yes, thank you. And also I'd like to add, if possible, Don, the next 3 months, May, June, and July, we're going to have a statement on the bill with a direct link to the website where you can find a water quality report. You can also get a copy at our main office if you want to come in here and request a copy. We have physical copies we can hand out as well. So it's just our best effort to get the information to you if you want to read it. And if you have any questions, like I said, like Don said, and like I said before, just reach out. We'll be glad to help you out in any way we can.
David Posey, the superintendent of the water and wastewater here at Fayetteville Public Utilities. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Don.
Thank you. Thank you for watching here on Fayetteville Public Utilities Channel 6. We'll see you back in here next time.